At On a Divine Note, we explore a wide range of topics that nourish the soul and body.
From healing and wellness to relationships and spirituality, we dive into the mind, self-care, trauma, love, and so much more.
Join us as we create a space for growth, connection, and holistic well-being. Welcome to On a Divine Note. Welcome back to another On a Divine Note. I am Bia.
And I'm Naya. Sorry, I didn't know.
I didn't know who was gonna go.
Sorry.
And I'm Shira, if you didn't know.
Right. Well, you should know by now. But we're back. We are back. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
I
really
love
good.
it. Yeah, so we have some really fun, interesting, I would say, conversation today.
Yeah.
But before we get started, we are going to do a mental.
Why you stop the low note? How you gonna say mental?
Check.
Stop the note.
Terrible. Scratch that.
That would have been good though, like if you were like check it.
If I would have came in right, it would have been,
You gotta hold the note.
but I gotta get in there.
I
I gotta get in there. Right, mental check-in, y'all.
Mental check-in.
How y'all feeling? How's everybody today?
Mentally, I'm feeling really good mentally. Really grounded today. I did really good meditation this morning, and I got a lot of good like downloads and things. So I feel really sure.
I love it.
And yeah, really good and grounded.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love that.
Yes.
I feel grounded as well. And just like, I feel so happy with my life right now, guys.
Yeah.
So good.
As y'all know, I was telling y'all last episode that I was leaving my job and like all these changes were happening.
Yes.
So this is my first week of the actual changes. And I just feel
Wow.
like so good. I feel like I can breathe. Life is just great. I'm
Good.
super happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm feeling so ready. That's what I feel right now.
Ready.
Today is ready.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like I can conquer anything.
Mm-hmm.
Great meditation this morning. Did a lot of like writing and just channeling and it was good.
That's
It was real
good.
good and just it feels good to know that I'm here and I'm ready for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot that's coming, y'all. There's a
Mhm.
lot that's coming, so be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Yeah.
clock it.
Like it.
Good. We're all good mentally.
Yes,
I love
everybody
it.
is good mentally. We're going to do an icebreaker today because our subject today is religion versus spirituality.
Right.
We're going
What
to
it
ask,
means. Yep.
so we're going to ask a lot of questions around that on like, what is your thoughts about that? How do you feel? I know it's a lot out there in the world, you know, it's
It's a touchy subject.
Yes.
very.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's just important. I know that it's important for us to have because I feel like it creates a lot of division. So
Yes.
the conversation, I think it's important for us to just have and not to
Exactly.
stay away from. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed.
I love it. So we're going to dive into it. But before we do, actually, we're just going to ask, we're going to do the icebreaker, which is kind of around it a little bit. And what does spirituality and religion mean to you? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go
I
first?
can start.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would say the simplest way, in my opinion, that I could put like the difference between religion and spirituality is I view religion to be like seeking the answers outside of you, whereas spirituality is seeking the answers from within and like being guided by your ancestors, spirit guides, God, whereas like religion is more so, I guess in a way you could say like you kind of, the answers are given to you or like the answers are already there. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like the biggest difference is. And to me, spirituality, you're able to be a little bit more free and like explore the answers a little bit more from within and from spirit guides and all these different places. Whereas religion, it's kind of like, okay, here you go, here's the answer. And
Right.
I just want to put out there, I don't think either one is right or wrong or one is better than the other. But that's my opinion on the two.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And you literally took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Spirituality is about your personal journey and going internally to find your connection to source and the divine. What is your purpose here on earth? What is your purpose in the spiritual realm? And going internally to find the answers. And like you said, religion is more so of going externally,
Yeah.
looking at, it's focused on looking at different external text, external rules, institutions, and whatever that may be. So it's more of a structured way.
Right.
And to finally have the goal of going to heaven, to being whole, to being at peace. So they're doing it externally, and then with spirituality, you're doing it internally, and it's not as many. It's not so structured.
Yeah.
It's not so black and white.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own journey.
Yeah.
And for me, that makes more sense to me, which is why I resonate more with being someone who is spiritual, because I'm like, oh, it's not so black and white.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I agree with you, Naya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
100% is exactly what you both said. It's really just that more of the spirituality is, yeah, it's more like you are like going within. You know, it's kind of like a becoming one with yourself, because it's like, but like you said, it's externally, you know, as far as in with religion is, and it's not, like you said, it's not a right or wrong way. It's just the way that some people go. You know, some people want to go spirituality, some people want to go religion, some people want to go non-denominational, don't want to
Right.
do. Some people just don't want to do any of the things. That's just, it's your choice of what you decide to do. So
Right, like
it's
a
always
spiritual.
good. Yeah.
A spiritual person will meditate, whereas a religious person may go to a temple or a
Yeah,
church,
Yep.
or and they'll do it that
mass
way.
and different things like that. So it's different ways of it.
Spiritual person may do yoga. Religious person may go to, what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's
Like a
yeah.
Bible study or something like
Right,
that.
right.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just the way that you get your answers.
Exactly.
And so that's really good. I like that y'all have that. So we're actually going to dive into a little bit, because I want to know, where do you personally land on the spectrum, and how did you arrive at that point? That's a good one. I'll let y'all go, whoever want to go first, but that's a really, really great one. And
Yeah. So I think I already mentioned it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I definitely am spiritual. And the reason being that I like how I even landed there is when I was younger, I, like you all know, that I saw spirits. I saw angels. I saw people, like I have the story about my principal who died. And he came to me, and he was in white, and he was floating, and he was telling me how, hey, I passed away, but I'm in a better place. And so when you go to the school, remember, I'm in a better place, so you don't have to cry, you don't have to do those things. And then I told you, Mom, I'm like, hey, my principal's died. Mom, I got in trouble. My mom's like, you don't say that. You don't say that. When we got to the school, turns out they pulled her to the side, and they're whispering to her, hey, the principal, whatever his name, I forget his name.
It was so long ago.
He passed away. I feel like it was something with a T. I don't remember. He passed away. And she looked at me like she saw a ghost. Like, girl, how you know that, right? So since I was younger, I've always been a part of this other world where I could see a whole other world. I could see all of these things. I can see angels over top of my bed. I could see like people floating. I could see not so good spirits, and then also really good and pleasant ones. So like that's just how I grew up. It's almost like Paranorman. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
cartoon?
I remember that.
That like
cartoon.
animation.
Wow, that was funny. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up that way, And then I remember we would go to church, Mommy, when we were younger. We went to the church in Florida, and I remember when I would go in there, I would see the pastor, and he would preach what was in the Bible and things of that nature, um, and the people that I saw in there, I saw in this religious place, the things that I saw attached to the people there was so much darkness. Um, and they were really like almost like ridiculing each other. And this is now the in this particular place that I went to, that was that place, right? So not every place is that way. But from a young child, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a part of something so structured in that way when there's something so much more. Because they were like, oh, well, what you're seeing is a demon. That's not this. And it's like, oh no, but it's actually not bad, right? So from a very young child and then experiencing, because I study different religions. So I went to Bible studies and I studied Christianity. I studied Buddhism. I studied what is it called?
Muslim?
Yeah, the Muslim religion, but I forgot what it actually is called.
Islamic.
Is that just what it's just called? Islamic religion? I don't know.
Islam.
Islam. I studied. So I went through them all. Even some of the like. I just wanted to understand what each thing was.
Right.
And once I got an understanding of what Christianity was, once I got an understanding of what Buddhism was, once I understood what the Muslims believed in and what they followed, I was like, oh, okay, so everybody sort of believes in the same thing. They just call people different names, but they have the similar stories. And I'm like, okay, and there's a lot of truth in these books. There are a lot of truth in these books, and a lot of this stuff is actual, like it's truth. And I could see where Jesus spoke, and I could also see where I'm like, I can see a man wrote that in there, because we've known that a lot of these books were tarnished and rewritten and written, and the devil had his hand in some of the books. But you can see the truth in it. You have to that's why you have to have discernment, and that's why you have to really pray before you actually go study in these things, so you can actually get God's word. So at the conclusion of it all, I'm like, okay, so I understand what everybody's doing, and I can understand why they do their practices, but it just didn't fit with me, because I was too free, and I understood that, okay, I do know that Yahweh is real. I know that Jesus is real. I do know that. But then I also know that Aludumare is real. And then I also know that God is Kalima is real. And I also know, and I'm like, there's so many more deities and energies and spirits that all work together as a divine collective for sometimes one person.
It's a whole spirit
to guide one person. And once I discovered that, and I discovered that by just walking through life, having dreams, like I am blessed to see visions, like in meditation, like having conversations and angels speaking through me, speaking to me through numbers, God speaking directly to me, speaking to Jesus, like just like having these experiences, and it's like, oh, okay, there's something way beyond what I'm trying to teach myself right now.
Right.
And then once I got to that point, I was like, oh, there's so much more. I think that I don't want to limit myself. And I don't want to put myself in a box. And for me, right, for Tashira, I don't want to put myself in a box and stunt my growth. I want to grow to be the highest version of myself, and even if that goes against what I was originally looking and searching for and what I originally thought. So getting out of my own way and being like, okay, like two things can be true at once.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be the same thing.
Yeah. So I just got to that point of just like really studying, and then started having experiences. So being spiritual, so doing meditations, going within, like going to study monks and and their experiences, like um, going within. And when I went within, I saw truth, because that's when you can actually hear, for me in particular, that's when you can actually hear God speak, is in silence and when you go within. And when I will go to the churches, because I resonate more with the Christian religion, because of Yahweh. But when I would go there, I would hear messages, but then it would be so much distractions around me, that I'm like, I can't do this.
Hone
I can
in
do
on
it
it.
sometimes, but
Yeah.
I have to go within, and that's where I can really hear him speak to me. So
Yep.
that's how I got there.
Yes.
I don't know if that made any,
No, it does.
That made a
but like
lot
I
of
went
sense.
A lot
everywhere.
of
That made
sense.
a lot of sense. That
It
made a
does.
lot
That's how I
of
got there.
sense. Yeah.
It does.
I would say we have I was just laughing over here because there's so many like similarities in our story, but kind of like flipped.
Right.
Like I got you started there, whereas I had to like come there, but a lot of
Right.
similarities in like the not wanting to be put in a box and all these things. But for me, so I resonate with being a spiritual being as well. And so I grew up as Christian in my household. And we didn't like go to church every Sunday or anything like that, but I can remember going to church like on Easter and things like that. And then we actually did a weekly Bible study. So we'd all meet in the living room and we would do Bible study, and we had to like memorize the books of the Bible and memorize the word and like all that stuff. And I remember enjoying that because I just, as y'all know, I love to learn. So
Right.
that was fun for me to be like, oh, I got it right. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
and at some point though, I just remember being like, all these people around me, Christians around me, were having these like encounters and experiences with God that I wasn't having. So I'm just like, I just don't understand how I can believe in something when I'm not having the experience for myself. Like, how can I subscribe to and say that I'm Christian or I'm whatever, like I'm this thing based off of what just my mom is telling me, or based off of what the book, the Bible, or the Quran, whatever it is telling me. Like, I need to have the experience for myself, and I wasn't having these same experiences
Right.
that like everybody around me was talking about. And so from there I kind of strayed away and I started questioning a lot of like what's real and what's not. Also to the point of the Bible and a lot of it being rewritten, I was just always like this is a book that was, as a little kid, these are things I was saying, like this is a book that was written by a person because it's a book, which means that like a person had to write it. So how do we know that any of this is like actually true, you know? Just like all these questions as a little kid, and not having the experience just made me be like, okay, well, I don't subscribe to any of this. Like I don't believe in anything. And I would say at that point I probably would would have considered myself atheist at that point for a while. And it wasn't until peaceful healing, really, where it really opened me up to know that there was a whole nother way of living, and that like I didn't even know that being spiritual was a thing. Like I thought the only way of living was to be a specific religion.
Right. Right. Right.
So it was like, well, I don't subscribe to any of these, so I'm just nothing. I just don't believe in anything then. I didn't know that there was another way. So when my eyes opened to the fact that there was another way of living and being, it just resonated so much with my spirit. Like it just made so much sense. And I didn't have to be like you said, Cher, put in this box and live my life in the four corners of this box. For me personally, that just never made sense. Because I'm like, I can be a good person. I can do a lot of these things. Love thy neighbor, that like they say in the Bible, be a healer. I can do all of these things, but why do I have to call myself a specific thing to be those things or to be a good person? And so through meditation and peaceful healing, which is where I was open to that, was like you said, Cher, where I was able to hear God. It wasn't until meditation and sitting in silence that I was able to finally experience God. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's like a whole nother way of living where you can have a relationship with God, and you can be all of these things, but you don't have to be religious per se. So it's peaceful healing, meditation, and then I did a psychedelic one time and I had a spiritual awakening where I like saw God, and I went within, and I saw God, I saw a bunch of stuff. But I was able to ask God a bunch of answers. He was like in the corner of my room. I was able to ask him a bunch of questions.
Right.
And I asked him a bunch of questions about myself, and it was just like coming. And
I know.
I knew it
Wow.
wasn't me. So just all these experiences along the way
Yeah.
of just being like, okay, this resonates, this makes sense, this is who I am, and just being able to just finally connect. And I was like,
Right.
okay, so this is my path.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, y'all. This is some good stuff.
That's
I love
really-
I hope that
that.
made sense. I feel like I'm
No,
talking in
No,
circles.
no,
No,
that
it doesn't. And
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it. It's like y'all said, it's not black and white, you
Mhm.
know. So I've always from a child, I've always chose spirituality. I just didn't know that's what the name of it
Yeah.
was when I was younger, because I was raised as a Muslim. You know, I was wearing the garments and going to the mosque and you know doing all of the things, and it's what it was. I just didn't resonate with the stuff that I seen that was going on, whether it was on TV or even with, you know, when Malcolm X was, it was pretty much saying a lot of the things, which when I realized, like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be about peace, but you know, everybody is making things about separation and segregation and all of those things, and I'm like, we are one as a people. Like, why can't we just love each other? Why do we have to say we are? If I'm a Muslim, then I can't hang out with the Christians because then you're going to be crucified, and you can't hang out with Jehovah Witnesses because they holier than thou, or that's how they were, the ones at that time was acting. And you know, it was always like that, and I just always was so connected to nature and the birds and really a lot of things. And I was just like, wow, why am I so connected to these things? And then as I got a little older, when my mom passed away, I would go to like different churches, and then I would always feel like, oh, you can't wear that, or that's too tight. And I'm like, why am I being judged if this is not what it's supposed to be about? And so I went off like I just went like a stray dog. I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm like, and when I was brought back, it was more so of life experiences and just actually going within. And this was way before I even learned peaceful healing, way before I gotten sick, way before death even came upon me. It was the time when we were in the shelter. And I would see my daughter. My daughter would always say, Mom, you know, she'll tell me about different things that was dead, you know, spirits and different things like that. She even had a visible friend, but I believed her. I believed her because I knew she was so much like me. And I've always seen things. Even as a kid, I felt things, really, really bad things. I felt them. And I just remember, before I even get to that part, I remember being at a church, and and I felt so, I couldn't even hear what the pastor was saying. I couldn't hear anything. Everything just I felt tired. It was so heavy. It was so sad. I'm like, why is something that's supposed to be so beautiful so sad? And I'm a feeler. I feel everything. I felt heaviness from emotions, from people looking for answers. And I'm like, this place here isn't for me. I can worship outside of here when I'm with me and the Most High God. I have to be in alignment, because now I'm feeling everybody else that's going through all these different things, and it just didn't feel right. And but as a young girl, I remember we went into this shelter, and I was probably about 20 and maybe 22 at the time. And I had two kids, and I went into the shelter. And when I went into the shelter, it was almost like to the point of no return. Like, what's happening here? Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew, like, I'm here. But then I just was like, you know, I kind of like did what peaceful healing told me to do, but I did it back then and didn't realize that. I just stayed positive, and I just started closing those windows and the doors of the outside world, and I started like really harnessing in on who I am. Like, okay, you can do this, you can get past this. So what are you about to do? And that's when I first started doing my speaking engagements, just in a room there, talking to other homeless girls or women that was just like me. So I went over to, I was in there for probably a few months, and I met these women, and these was three women, and wish I could remember who they all were. They were like my angels, and that's when I knew there's a God, because when I went there, and they told me, after I've been in that shelter for probably like 8 months, and they told me, oh, well, we don't have, it's a waiting list. Now, just imagine somebody tell you in a shelter and it's a waiting list for a year. Who wants to be in a shelter for that long? Who wants to have to go through that for that long? Who wants to not have a bed to sleep in, or feel unsafe with your kids, or waking up to noise and just, it was just nasty. And so when I went to these women, and they told me, no, well, you have to wait. And at that time, I was like, you know what? It's just like, I didn't know what to do. I just broke down. I surrendered. I surrendered, y'all. I didn't know what to do. Then she told me, she was sitting in my face. She said, you know what? She said, wait a minute. And she started telling me all the things that she was feeling. She said, y'all feel that? Y'all feel that? And they just all saying they feel it and all this other stuff. But me, I was defeated. I was defeated because I had no one. I had my mom died. My dad was nowhere to be found. I was living from house to house, to the point where I got tired of living there. So I lived on in a shelter. And she told me, she said, I'm feeling it. They said they felt it. And they said, God is telling me that we have to, give you this place. And I'm like, wait, what? And she said, you can move in today. I said, wait, who? I knew I had the lady who was in that shelter. She said, you're different. You're different than the rest. You're different than the rest. So she is the one who set me up with that. And I wish I could remember her name too. This was so long ago, so I don't even know if they even still here, because they were older.
Yeah.
But I moved into my place. And from there, everything spiraled out of control. I got a job. Spiral in control was a great thing, right? So nothing bad. I got a job. I started having money. I started doing all the things. And then God said, okay, your time is up here. And so from there, I started really walking out on faith, stepping out on faith. And I started realizing, okay, and this was the voice that I heard. Nope, time is up. Like, you got to do what I tell you to do, and this is time is up. And I moved to Florida. Time is up. I moved to Cali. Time is up. And I would just listen, and that's where I said, you know what? The people who I knew who were actually religious, and I mean, I know a lot of people who are all sorts of religions, told me, you shouldn't do that. I shouldn't listen to the voice of God. I should just still be scared, and I wouldn't be afraid. So that brought me to, wow, you know what? Y'all can't say nothing to me. The only one that can show me anything and have been showing me, hey, I'm going to shut this door, get ready, because another one is open. And when it opened up, just from just leaving that house, that shelter, from moving into that apartment, staying there for a year, leaving, say, hey, a whole nother apartment ready for you. Nope, you got to go, you got to go. But we got an apartment for you. It's ready for you. You can leave. Here's the key. God said, no, don't take that key. Did not take that key, and I left. And from that moment, I left and I went to school, and I got so many great things that happened to me. And that was literally just stepping out on faith and listening to what the Most High had to say. And when I listened to, like I said, when I listened to the people who was in all religion, that's crazy, you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. But that's the risk that you take when you know that you have a team. You said it, you have a spirit team, and they always there with you, and they always fighting for you. So I choose not to segregate myself. I feel like I don't want to be segregated. I lead with love, and I love to love. And I want to love that Muslim. I want to love that whoever, the Christian, or and Buddhism is not a religion. If you really freaking study your religion, study. It's not. It's a way of living.
Yeah.
It's a way of living, right?
But it's the way that people actually, putting it out there. It's like, it's these mindsets. So it's either way. I love them all. I love my people. I have people that's in all multiple walk, all multiple. Their lives we are not all in alignment, but they are. Everybody wants peace.
Yep.
Everybody do.
We all looking for
Everybody
the same
wants
thing.
to be loved.
Yeah.
We all do.
Mhm.
We all want all of the great things in life and not to be judged while doing it.
Yeah.
So that's why I choose what I choose. Now, I probably
Right.
said a lot, but that's just where I'm at.
I love that.
I love that.
That's amazing.
And that's and like you said, everybody at the end wants the same goal. We have the same goal. We want ultimate peace. We want ultimate love. We want to be loved by God and chosen. And I actually recommend a lot of people who like Naya, no, I can't use you as an example because you started out as Christian. But for somebody who doesn't believe in anything, I a lot of the times recommend like for those type of people, because I see people now who are really religious, and I'm like, good, because you need something to believe in.
Yeah.
I'd rather
recommend them
you
something. Mm-hmm.
everybody believe in what they believe in, right? God's got you regardless. Just as
Right.
long as you are listening to what he has to say and you're following the things that he's telling you, you're having faith and you're doing all the things that you're supposed to do, you're living in the life that you're supposed to live. Does the rest doesn't matter.
Right.
The moment that you don't do those things and you're going against, that's when you whatever you put out you get back. That's the laws of the universe. But for the people who don't believe in anything, I always recommend, because spiritual, like living peacefully and living in spirituality is for like that next stage of like, okay, so now that you understand the fundamentals of what this means. Okay, what is God? Okay.
Right.
So you know what that means. Okay. So what is living in faith? Well, okay, what is listening? What is walking blindly into something? Can you listen? Do you have I just said it. Discernment. Do you have intuition? Can you hear me? All right. So you can do these things. All right. Basics. All right. So now beyond that, do you trust yourself? Do you know that I'm within you? Do you know that my light is within you? Okay. Do you trust that you can guide others through me? You know, and then it goes deeper and deeper.
Blossoms from there. Yeah.
And then that's when he equips you to start being the leader that you are. But you have to go within to do that.
Yeah.
So it can't only be external. It has to be both.
Yeah.
Working in tandem with each other in
Yeah.
order for you to get to the place where you need to be. So I always recommend, like, there are certain people that I see that are super like, okay, they're on fire for Jesus. And I'm like, I love it. Stay there, right? Learn all that you can, because Jesus has so much knowledge. And actually Jesus meditated and he taught law of attraction.
positivity.
Jesus
Well, meditating on the word is in the
Yeah.
Bible.
meditate on the word,
Meditate,
right?
yeah.
There's so much power within all of these books. There's so much truth, right? So I'm a big advocate in starting there. Study like I did.
Yeah.
I studied.
Yeah.
I studied.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I was like, ooh, this is a little
Don't feel
bit
Yeah.
I went to this
Doesn't resonate.
Bible study, and the women sat on one side, the men sat on the other side. The pastor was up there. I felt so much like and in this particular place, and it was like a friend. She was like, "Oh, come to my church." I'm like, "Okay." Come to my Bible study. This is the point where I'm like, I want to know what's going on. I've been seeing this all my life. Look, I've been talking to Jesus, but who is he? I need to know what's,
Right.
I've been talking to this person too. Who is this?
Right.
And now I know who she is, my divine mother. And my grandma talking to me too. What's going on, right?
Right.
So I'm like, I need to study. So I went to her church and her Bible study, because I love knowledge. I do not judge people, right? So I'm like, okay, sure. What's what?
Right.
I went in that Moan Joan. I said, let me get out of here before I end up like on Get Out. I am telling you, okay? The women on one side, the men on the other. Then when we all ate together, the pastor sat at the end, and it just felt so ritualistic. And then they were talking about rituals in a way, like in a roundabout way. And they're like, yeah, they say that our church has done this and done that, but that's all lies. Ha ha. And they're like laughing and I'm like, girl, where you got me at? I said, oh, well, I got to go get my son. Let me get
Right.
That
Yeah.
was a weird experience,
Yeah.
but I am the type of person that I'm an extremist. Like I need to go all the way in to learn or whatever. But I always say that people should start there. Like believe in something bigger than you. And then once you,
So important.
like God will show you your path and he'll show you
Yeah.
where you need to go from there.
Get answers.
But like you said, Mom, love one another, love everyone, lead
Yeah.
with love. God is love. Lead with peace. And everything else will be shown. I support everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about everybody.
Yeah.
And I love everyone. We were just talking about how I have a freaking mouse in the house, and we caught it.
Clever daggone thing.
We caught
You
it,
caught it?
and it was still alive, but it was like
Oh, suffering.
it's suffering,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't
felt
do
bad.
it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then it's like, but it was like, okay, God in the moment was like, hey, hello. Okay, this is something that's been invading your space.
Right. Right.
Yes, but you pray for it. You still love it, but this is like the law. This is the way of the world. It has to. You caught it,
Right.
so it's here
right.
now, right?
Right.
Now it's
But you release it with love, and you still love it, even though this is something that you have to let go. This is something you got to let go. This is something that you got to get rid of, but you do it with love.
Right.
So,
wow, that's so true.
It's definitely all about love and togetherness rather than separation. And I think that's the key.
That's my biggest thing.
And internal and external matters.
You have to.
Both.
It does, right? Yeah.
And like you said, I think everybody can just start by going within.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt anybody to just go within, be in silence. You'll get so many answers just by doing that alone.
Sometimes and I've heard this, especially with me being in it. People are afraid to go within because
You gotta hear your thoughts.
You have to hear your thoughts, right?
Yeah, face
you
yourself.
also have to. You're going to see things that you're going to hope. Even if you've seen an angel, they don't look like you. They don't look like this
or feel like you.
It's this, with the a woman or a man, and they have wings. That's not. They are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can just be big beings or light, or they
super tall.
Or small.
Or small. They come with, it's so different. And people don't want that. So they like, oh, well, I don't want to be different. But dare to be different, because I would tell you one thing, it's better to be. It's better to be different. It's better to get your answers, because it's a lot of things that we as people have to understand about who we are.
Yeah.
And we are more than just people that just get up and just do whatever we do in life. So much more to it.
Yeah.
So much more to it. It's always been a spiritual warfare. It's always been stuff that's going on spiritually, and the war's poured over many, 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 many eyes. And so,
well, I will say, we're coming into a space where everything is being revealed.
Yeah.
So people are going to start to notice things. They're going to start seeing things in the sky. They're going to start seeing that, okay, we're not the only life form. God is going to start speaking to people. He's going to start saying, hey, look, I told you.
Things going to start floating.
You need to listen.
You better
to
pay
what I say.
attention. Jeez, I'm telling you.
It goes deeper because,
deep.
there's only but so long that you can pretend to not know, or to reject yourself, or to reject God. Eventually he's going to set you down, whatever way that means. And we were talking about this, like, if you just want to go and you moving and moving and moving, God will sit you down by getting you sick.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah,
now
sure.
you forced
like,
to,
okay.
like,
I got told you.
Now
to
you
listen.
gotta listen.
Right. I have
sit
something
down,
because
that's all you can do is sit down and listen.
And listen. Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Do it yourself. It's easier that way.
Well, people, yeah.
We do have one more. This one here is, this is a good one. What is some of the pushback you've had on your journey? When it comes down to that,
like other people?
Yeah, it was just a pushback. I know for me, people, they don't necessarily, people, sometimes people will say, you crazy. However, they know that I'm not. So you can, but I also
relate.
too, yeah, they like you crazy, but they'll try to say it in a joking way. But then when they see what I've said that came to pass, they like, I didn't know, but I told you, right? So then I also get, I'm a cult because I'm teaching you how to go within. I'm not telling you how to do anything. I'm just saying just what I say to anybody in my class. I always say what I say. I don't even say, I don't even tell you what's
You don't
your
tell us to
issue.
do
I
anything.
don't say nothing. I just let you, by the time y'all finish the practices that we do, you're like, dang, that's what I've been doing all these years.
You
It's
tell us to
You
look at
answered everything for
ourselves.
look
yourself.
into,
Yeah.
Look within.
yes, I've heard that, and I said I only heard it from one person, and I thought it was the funniest thing. Or people get mad at me for pointing out their flaws, but I don't point them out.
They've
They
been
just
revealed.
notice it within themselves.
Right.
So that's the pushback that I get when it comes down to that. Not
makes sense.
necessary of the that, you know, who I am and things like that. Just more so of that.
That makes sense. That makes
It's,
sense,
well,
especially
if
with what you
you're
do.
Yeah,
right,
right.
like if you're the teacher, people are always gonna look for somebody
You need
to blame.
somebody.
Yes.
They're gonna look for
You are
someone to
right.
blame, and then they're also gonna look for a reason to not
Yes.
finish what they started.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So
Not
it's
be
easier
open.
for them to say, "Oh, this teacher is trying to force me to relive my past, or to face my trauma. Man, whatever. That teacher's crazy. Let me leave." Right. And then that it's easier to do that than to sit there and feel the pain of, oh man, when this happened to me when I was 5, that actually didn't feel good, and I'm actually still holding on to that, and I need to let it go. And instead of doing that, they prolong it, and then they come back to you later
Yep.
and be like, hey, so what was
I'm
you
ready
saying
now."
again about
Right. Yep, they
what was
do.
you saying about meditating and
Right. And how did that work again?
how you say you listen to God?
Right. What you
Right.
say? Yep. And
Right.
it's so funny. And honestly, it's one of those things where you just like, you don't want to, and this is my human side, I don't want you back because I feel like you did too much. However, the spiritual side of me, when God say, I told you I need you to save this person,
Right.
I need you to do some things here, this is what I need you to do. I'm like, dang, I don't want to though.
Right.
But I better listen because I'm in
But you
trouble.
better.
Right.
You
Lock your blessing.
You in trouble when you don't listen. So I'm like, okay, I got it. I'll do it. You know, but it's one of those things. So yeah, that's what happens with me when it comes down to any pushback on this journey that I'm on.
Yeah.
More so if people just want to say you crazy or look at me because I'm happy or I'm smiling or I'm continuously to being the same person that I am, but it's just who it is. It's what it is. When you go on a journey and you just like just picking yourself apart and just doing all the things that you doing and you just like, dang, like this is the way. Like this is the way that I'm shown to do it, and I feel good. I feel good.
Right.
I feel so good. I'm
Right.
like, all of the issues and the problems that most have, I don't. I cannot say that I can relate because I choose not to. I chose to shut those doors and those windows of the outside world, right?
Exactly.
So it just feels good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. With when I do sound baths and when I sing or do things of that nature. Okay, when I sing and I do my music, and I have concerts and like stuff like that, people relate to the feeling, and it's so much easier to free people that way.
Yeah.
Because they can relate to music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different when you're like almost set up like a therapy.
Yep.
In therapy, people want to
Mhm.
reject that, so it's easier to do it in my way, not my way, God's way, but in like singing and using the voice He gave me. And when I do sound baths, the pushback is people, not even pushback, but people will feel overwhelmed with emotion. They'll feel overwhelmed with emotion. for example, the class that we taught at UMBC, one of the people walked out. One of the boys walked out. He was overcome with emotion from the sound bowls. Just the sound bowls, just the ocean drum, just the sound is frequency, and whatever it is that you've pushed down, that you've buried, it will dig up for you to face. So some people are grateful, and they're like, man, and they're like, what did you? I'm like, I ain't do nothing but play the bowl.
Right.
I set the
with great
intention.
intention.
Yeah, I
Great
prayed.
intention.
You're healing it.
I'm
Right?
well, thank you. I'm doing a bowl. That's I'm just pushing little stuff around. Look, that's the rest is what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I ain't doing nothing. So it's more so of like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
Or them coming in with a hard exterior, like, oh, they
Yep.
have this wall up. But then you start playing, then they start
do
getting in. They're like, okay, whew, actually, this feels really lovely. Actually, this feels really peaceful. So, yeah, like I would say those two things. It's just like the unknown of it, and then eventually opening up. And if they go away, they'll come back.
Yeah.
But at least starting them to say, hey, whatever you have that you need to uncover, that you need to face it, so that way you can be free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You're
all
right
it
about
is.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Trying to think. Push back on my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say like in the beginning stages, just trying to like get people to understand like your way of living and just how like it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Not to say that like your way doesn't, but you know what I mean?
It makes
like
sense to you.
it just
Understand
makes,
me. Right.
Yeah, and just like trying to like explain that to people and people thinking that you're crazy or being like, no, that's not true. Like that used to grind my gears because it's like, no.
Right.
No.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Like, yes, it is. For me.
Right.
For me.
You know, I don't
Right.
like to be, now I could really care less, but
Right.
in the beginning, especially because when you get it in the beginning, like when you have your spiritual awakening and you get that peace, you hold on to it for dear life.
Yes,
like
you
hold
do.
on to
Could
it
you like it?
like it's a baby. So you are protecting that baby at all
Right.
costs. Don't you say nothing about this baby. Don't you?
Right.
Like this is what it is. What I said it is, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, that in the beginning stages, just people thinking that you're crazy. And then I'll say now, just finding that tribe. Like I have you guys, I have my fiance, but I'm just on the search for just more friends and more people that are
Right.
truly aligned and looking to heal. We can go to meditations together. We can go to yoga together. We can go on retreats together. Like I'm looking for that like
To actually
girl
be able to do that.
group to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so that's really hard to find. I'm finding
Yeah.
especially people my age.
Yes, that is so.
No, yes.
Yeah. And you
Because
know,
a lot of us haven't come into ourselves.
And you're
you
so
can go to
mature.
some of them
Thank
on
you.
your own too. Like if you
yeah, of
went,
course.
because remember you were gonna go by yourself.
Yeah.
You just never know who you're gonna
Who you
meet
might meet
there
there.
too.
True.
So sometimes,
That's
but I
true.
get what you're saying. Sometimes you want to go with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or that
you
friend that you
could.
can pick up the phone and be like,
Yeah.
guess what just happened in this
I
meditation? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So having to kind of like not hide that part of me, but you just don't have a lot of people
Pretty much hide it from.
to be able to like
the
express
world.
it to
Yeah.
is difficult sometimes. So
Right.
Yeah.
I say that.
Yeah.
So I'm praying
I
for
get
that.
So they
Yeah.
don't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough, and it, especially with you get uh like with me, I get so excited because it's this morning when I had this amazing message,
Yeah.
and it was so, and I can call the sheriff, I
Yes.
can call Kevin, but I've never been able to call on my man and say, hey, you know, this was going on, because he don't know what I'm talking about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always it'll be good to have someone
To
that's in
have more
alignment.
people, yeah, outside of family.
Yeah.
Outside of just family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, outside of family.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And which is good that you have that, but most people don't have that.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that.
Most people don't.
So,
yeah. And it'll come. I know it's gonna come.
It will. There was actually I did we did a frequency responders meditation at our Towson location. There was this young girl that came. She was still in college, and she was just enjoying the sound bath, and y'all probably would have connected. Like,
Yeah.
so
never know,
I'm going to be
right?
Go to
throwing more
more
live.
events. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. Well, we have one that we throw once a month at the Lovely Lane Church, and it's completely free. So you can come to that one. Well, those are more so of like adults or EMTs or police people.
And you could put one together, like
But I will
for
be.
that. Yeah.
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 More people are actually looking. They don't know
Now
what
more
they
than ever.
need. They don't even know the beauty in it. You
A
know.
lot of people are awakening.
Yeah.
They are.
A lot of people
And they are
are
looking.
awakening, and they're seeing beyond what is just in front of them. And
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Because God's children is coming back to Him.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and it's
that's the
just
plan.
And they need to
it's
right
beautiful.
now. We all
Yeah.
need to right now
And that's the plan.
in this crazy world.
Exactly. And that is the plan to do all of those things. But that is so good, y'all.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really time to do more events, Reiki, peaceful healing, sound, and even just doing it by itself, sound, all of those things, getting into these schools and colleges and different things like that, really putting yourself out there and really getting into them. Because like you said, Deshira, people are looking.
Yeah.
And they don't even know that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
When I feel like when we was at UMBC, it wasn't a tough crowd, but it was a tough crowd. They didn't really, because I feel like they didn't trust each other. I don't know if they
Didn't
trust,
want to
but
be vulnerable
yeah,
around each other.
and I get that,
Yeah.
right? But you also seen that they were opening up from, like you said, just standing there like stiff to starting to relax and things like that. So when you get people to relax and know that you really, really got their back, or you really there for them, and then they can see, right? You can see who's good and who's bad. You can come in, who coming in with good intentions and bad intentions, right? So I don't feel like I would ever go to sound bowl healing with somebody other than a Shri. Just like on his retreats and things like that, because I know his intentions are good. Like everybody doesn't have the same intentions, number one, and then everybody is not, everybody doing things that they see other people are doing.
Yeah.
Is it a purpose of yours? Is this something that you're supposed to?
Or is it
Right.
just a trend?
Or is it just a
Or is
trend?
it just a trend?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with a lot of those things.
Yeah. That's
period.
good. That's important to note, especially as people are going out and exploring these more spiritual ways of being, meditation classes or sound bowl therapy, noting that everybody's intention is not
it's
the
not.
same, and be careful who you go to for things like that. Like,
Yep.
be careful who you go to for Reiki, and everybody isn't using their powers for good.
No, they're not. So you have to be
Have
very
discernment.
careful.
Pray before you go to these things.
Anything that you
Very
do.
careful. Yeah.
That's in anything, even a church you decide to go to.
Yeah.
You do. You have
The
to.
pastor you decide to listen to.
Yeah.
It's just like when it comes to like the spiritual realm.
Yes.
In the spiritual world, especially here on this physical plane, where so much malevolent energy is and spirits are, and that hop into people and hop out of people, where some people are just walking around soulless and easily accessed by demons and so many more things. You just have to make sure that you're always prayed up, and that you have discernment, and that you use your intuition, and that you call on your spiritual team before you walk into a room, before you do anything. So that way you are protected. And if you get a feeling, a lot of the times you'll hear like the first voice say, "Don't do that."
Yes.
You better listen to that voice, because that's somebody from your spirit team telling you, baby, I'm trying to protect you. Or, hey, do this, hop on this, go over there, talk to that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the boy on the plane.
When he was supposed
when I was
to
going to Atlanta, and he said, "Hey, Jesus wanted me to tell you that he loves you," and I needed that at that moment. Because I already know that, but I forgot it in the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
So it's just having that. Just having that is very important, which is why I will be curating more events. So I will be doing sound baths. I know that you really enjoyed it, and Asa really enjoyed it. So actually in my meditation, God was like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Get to it.
He put on his thunder voice. He
Mhm.
said, "Look, this is what you need to do." I
Mm.
said, "Okay,
Mhm.
I
Right.
heard you.
Mhm.
Let me do it."
You've been knowing.
Right.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
It's that procrastination. And now is the time not to procrastinate, y'all.
No, you
From
cannot anymore.
for
Yeah.
nothing. Like
Yeah.
it's not, the times are different.
Or
Yeah.
you'll be left behind.
Yeah.
You cannot, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
feeling that too. Like with
Mhm.
my Reiki and everything, I'm just like, do it.
You
it.
have
Yeah.
to
Even
do
though
what
it's
you
scary,
do.
even though it's the unknown, do it. Like
Yes.
you're being told to do it, so do it. Everything will be fine.
Because it's
Yeah.
beyond us.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
imagine how many people that you can help with Reiki. How many people need certain energy removed from their body
Mhm.
that is stuck and stagnant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And even with sound therapy and even with peaceful healing,
Mhm.
the things that people don't know that they need,
Mhm.
those people are gonna come and be like, "Whoa, what's
Mhm.
this?"
Yeah.
And they get everything they need,
Mhm.
and it's because we were obedient.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Being
Yeah.
obedient is the bit. Oh my goodness, y'all, the best thing we could ever do.
Yes, be
And
obedient.
and it's so funny because, you know, I really am in like connection with the Most High. It's so amazing. And it's like he said, he sends people to me who I need to help. And it's so funny because I'm just like watching, and I'm like, well, should I do this? And there's, yes, but why you think I sent this
Right.
person to you? You know, I need you to do this because I need this to do that. And, you know, it's a lot of
Yeah.
things that you know, if we all as people went within, right, and did what our purpose really is,
The world would be an amazing place.
the devil
Every
would have lost many,
Be-
many, many years ago.
Yeah.
If we all came in and did what we were supposed to do, and that's we would be in a whole different type of place right now.
God's work.
and why do you think that there are so many distractions
Mm-hmm.
for that not to happen?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do you think the social media, the TV,
The AIs and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
the music, the war?
Mhm.
Yep.
Like, why do you think all of this stuff is happening?
scarcity.
Is to distract you from
Mhm.
becoming who you are supposed to be in your entirety, following your purpose in order to save and help people and make the world vibrate at its highest frequency. Um, everything is being stopped
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and blocking us,
Yep.
Mhm.
so that we don't reach that capacity in that world that you've spoken of.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's a big but. God is having his way right now, and it is hell.
Mhm.
And a lot of the things that we're seeing in the end times, like so much that the Bible,
Mhm.
all the books, everything is showing that, you know, is happening within the end days. If you
Yeah.
really read,
Mhm.
all of that stuff is coming into fruition now.
Mhm.
And that's because God is having his way. And he's like, all right, y'all, time been over.
Yeah.
Now, you know, feel my wrath. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yep.
it's so
That's so
important
true.
to be obedient at this time, because you do not want to be left behind, and you also want to reach your full capacity. You don't want to be stunted and then have to redo life again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to find your way, and you know,
Too much.
just listen now.
Yeah.
So it's not harder
Yeah.
later.
Later. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
why
But
not?
this was good.
Yeah.
y'all.
This
This is
is
good.
really good.
I like this.
Mhm.
Yeah. Most people really will probably even want to have these conversations because sometimes people just like, I don't even know who to talk to. That would be me. Like, okay, I'll be in the comments typing and texting y'all.
Exactly.
Like,
I'd be
listen,
like, yeah.
can we do more of this? Like, seriously.
Yes.
It's
yes.
real though.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would like for people to really just open up their eyes, open up their hearts, and really, really open up their mind's eye and pay attention to what has been said and shown to them, because nothing that we're saying on here today is fake, false, whatever. You can fight at it, you can do whatever, but it is what it is. And if you know, and I say it every single time, angels don't look like you think they look. They can come in as a dog, a cat, a mouse. Yes, I know you hate the mouse.
Let's not talk
Let's
about the
talk
mice.
mouse. Let's not
She
talk about
said
the
too soon.
mice.
Too
You know, I
soon,
said
Bill. Too
They
soon.
traumatizing me.
right. But even a person.
Yep.
And they can sit there and they can talk to you all day long and they can tell you some things and you choose not to listen. You don't know when
Where it's
God
coming
is
from.
sitting in that room. You don't know if it's with that homeless person you didn't give money to,
Mm.
or that woman that you beating up, or that man that you cheated on, or that child that you molesting or doing whatever it is. Because when the wrath comes, it's a different type of wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm.
Now I
Oh
know
my
that.
gosh.
You better
I
speak.
have a
Yes,
story, but
right.
it's too late for my story. But
It's
oh
too
my
late.
God,
We'll
it's
definitely
about
talk about it.
UMBC. I'll
Mm.
tell you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely
You know what I'm
speak on
talking
that.
about the girl, the autistic girl.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, it's
Well,
real,
we're
yeah.
continuing the conversation
Yeah, I was
on
gonna say.
anyway,
We
so
can
I can
definitely
tell it.
continue
We
on.
have a part 2, y'all.
We got a part
Yes.
2.
Yes, and we have a special guest.
gonna
We won't
bring
tell
on-
you guys yet. Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
We're going to bring on our special guest, and we'll be right back here shortly. We're going to talk and
Yeah.
talk and talk and get it going, 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 and get it pop, 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 pop.
Making music.
See y'all in the next episode.
See y'all
See you
in a
next
second.
episode. Peace.
Peace out.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, and follow us on all social media platforms.